The biggest upgrade you get when you get the River 3 is what Eco calls the X-Gen Power, which allows you to double the runtime of appliances under 100 watts by making this unit more efficient, which is phenomenal. Anything you can do to increase the efficiency and allow you to get more of this power that's in here to another device is awesome in my book. This has an overall capacity of 240 watt hours. It can consistently output 300 watts, and it does have a peak output of 600 watts. It has solar, you can charge it up with solar panels. You have a solar connector here and the normal wall charger here. I like that it closes up and has like kind of better form factor. Then you have a 3-prong and a 2-prong. Then you have 2 USB-A's, 1 USB-C, a car adapter. And then you have these different modes to turn on and off these different sections. Then turning on and off the screen here, you can also control this battery from the app. It's also really nice that now they've integrated the handle into the battery. So now it's not in the way, it's not any bulky. It's just a little bit easier, a little bit better form factor, and a little bit better for storage and moving around. I say when you're looking at a battery like this, you're really going to be looking at this if you're going to be on the go a lot. Some of the use cases for this, you can be charging up your laptop. You can be using this to power your Starlink. You can be using this to power up, charge up your drone batteries, your camera batteries, and other equipment that you have on the go. Things that are relatively small though. This isn't gonna be something that's gonna be charging up and powering bigger appliances. I've reviewed a lot of batteries, and this is probably, I think, the smallest battery, at least the smallest form factor on the market that I've seen so far with the 245 watt capacity. So they fit a ton of power into this small battery. On the screen, on the screen, it shows you some really helpful data. If you don't have your app up, you can see how much longer you have of the battery life if you're outputting at this certain level. Then you can see how much input, how much output in watts, so you can better understand how much battery life you have left and how long you have before you need to make some decisions. Let me show you some of the use cases for it, some of the things I use it for. Let me just show you it in action. So first, I just want to show you one issue that I found compared to using some of the other higher and bigger EcoFlow devices. When you plug in a normal outlet, a normal plug like from a laptop or my phone into the EcoFlow River 3, there's no room to then use that second outlet. While it does charge the computer perfectly fine, it is stuck. I can't use that second outlet. So maybe you have an extension cord or something like that. Maybe it's something you could use so you can have a smaller plug. But even if I flip this over, it doesn't allow me to use that bottom plug, which I guess is okay. Like I may not be using that all the time, and it just depends on what you're looking for when you're using this. And maybe you don't need to add two things. Maybe you can plug it directly into one of the USBs, right? And maybe you don't need one of these bigger plugs and you can plug it directly into the USBs. But it is nice to have more of the 3-prong outlets, and that's just something maybe you can consider when you're looking at this. Now, I did plug this in and have it charging my phone and the computer at the same time. No problem. It still is going to last 4 hours with charging my phone and the laptop at the same time. And I guess you just have to be a little bit more prepared with what type of attachment or plugs you need so that you can utilize this as effectively as possible. I was surprised how much I like that you have this section that can close up and how much nicer it was just to not worry about dust getting into the ports and stuff like that. Sometimes we are in dusty or sandy spots, and so that is nice to have that it pops closed. Anyways, those are some of the data I got or some of the things I was looking at.